Metal Jesus here, and I'm back again with Carlos.
Hello.
Now, Carlos is a local Seattle game journalist / collector /
lover of video games.
Lover of video games.
Yeah.
And you were here to help me do a couple videos on the TurboGrafx.
TurboGrafx, one of my favorite systems as a kid. I love this system. We're going to do 2 videos, 8 games apiece, and let you know about the games you might not know about that came out for their awesome system that I loved as a kid.
Which is perfect because I didn't own one as a kid, so I'm a relatively new collector. So this is just as much for me as it is for all you guys. I'm pretty excited about this.
It's fun. There's a lot of good games you might not know about, and we're going to show you them.
All right, let's take a look. All right, dude, so what do you got for me?
Okay, we're going to start off with pinball. Alien Crush was a weird monster pinball game, which you don't hear that very often.
Yeah.
And it was great because it was a simple, fun pinball game, but had crazy monsters you had to kill, and you went to different levels, and there was it felt almost like a platformer in a way, where you're killing monsters.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, when I first got my TurboGrafx, one of the first games that people told me to get was Alien Crush, and the other one's Devil's Crush. Yeah.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yes.
This is a little on the satanic-y side, which is kind of creepy, and no parents wanted to have you have this game because of that problem.
Satan!
Yeah, Satan! But it really wasn't that Satan-y. It was just, I mean, these monsters were awesome. Playing and fighting monsters while you're playing pinball was great.
Yeah, actually, is it that one that has the woman's head in the center, and you keep hitting it, and she does get more evil?
Scarier.
Yeah. It's really freaky, so.
It's awesome.
Yeah, definitely an awesome game. What next?
Okay, let's do JJ and Jeff. Oh my goodness, this one's a classic. This is a very hard game. Very, very hard, but it's ridiculous. The original is actually Kato and Ken, which we have the Hue card.
Yeah, which I found this locally. I took a picture of him like, dude, what is this game? You're like, buy it,
buy it. It's the original JJ and Jeff. So it's really hard. It's 2 guys who are essentially detectives, but it's a platformer game, and you're going along trying to beat bosses, but then weird birds are pooping on you.
Really?
Yeah, that happens. And it's just a lot of, it's a hard platformer game. The most difficult part is you slide a little bit, that kind of a thing.
I hate that.
It's like the whole world's kind of an ice level. But it was just a weird game, and a lot of these games were, very Japanese, very unusual from when I was a kid. And so we were like, this is weird. The burps are pooping on us, and the original thing, real quick, is he uses a spray can in this game, and the original, he's farting.
What?
Yeah, so when you squat down to your power move in this game, it's a spray can.
Wait, are you saying paint comes out of his butt in this?
No, he has a spray can.
Oh, okay. But in the original, though...
He just go boom, and there's the little fart.
Well, I love that idea. That's hilarious.
So it's a hard game, but it's one that I remember from my childhood.
Awesome.
Next up, Dungeon Explorer, which is an RPG for up to 5 players. With a turbo tap.
What?
Yep. It was a top-down game, kind of like a Baldur's Gate, Diablo. Okay.
Oh, cool.
So there was some RPG elements. You did level up in a way, but it also felt like kind of just a hack and slash kind of game. But what was great is that you could bring your friends over and all play an RPG together, and that was pretty rare for the time period and that system.
Yeah, that's cool.
Next up is Military Madness. A lot of people know this game. It came out on different systems, I think for PlayStation as well, right? And it was original title was Nectaris something.
Huh, okay.
I'll get maybe the people on YouTube's already know the real name.
They're already typing.
Yeah. But it was a great strategy game, especially for a system where, a lot of the games were shooters or platformers. This was a fun top-down strategy game, hardcore sci-fi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you would have your little soldiers and your tanks, and you'd pretty much have to plan out these little battles that would take place with animations.
Oh.
So you'd see what you did, if you planned right.
Is that like Advance Wars on the Game Boy Advance?
Exactly.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Cool.
It was way before Advance Wars, and I just knew it was special when I was playing it.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Okay, now next one is Silent Debuggers, which is a weird name.
That's a weird name. I almost feel like boogers. I mean, let's just be honest.
Silent Boogers. And it is weird. I don't understand why it's called that, but it was first-person sci-fi game, kind of like Aliens in that way.
Yeah.
And you would, power up your weapons and fight monsters in this kind of 3D world. So having a first-person, essentially, sci-fi game back then was pretty cool.
Yeah, totally.
Although the name is kind of weird.
It is a little odd. They could have chose better.
Yeah, and I'm going to call it Silent Boogers all the time. It's not that. Bloody Wolf, also a funny name.
Yeah, there's a menstruation joke there, I'm sure.
Oh, I wasn't even going to go there.
I'm going there.
You're picking weird places to go with the LD. So Bloody Wolf is a almost like Rambo.
Huh.
It's Akari Warriors.
Cool.
Right? You're going, and the story's ridiculous. You've got, I think you got to save the president, and
I love games where you have to save the president or his daughter. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's true. And then kill people. With bullets. It's essentially a shooter, kind of like Akari Warriors, right? So you're running around, fighting bad guys, getting a couple power-ups here and there, but mainly just getting from stage to stage. But you could do co-op, which was great.
Cool.
And there was some, melee kind of attacks, but also shooting on different weapons. It was great.
Cool.
Okay, next up we have Moto Rotor.
Which sounds like Roto-Rooter.
We're kind of going with alternative names for all of these. Moto Rotor was kind of like RC Pro-Am.
Oh, awesome.
Very fun. Yeah. The controls are a little weird. You're kind of turning left to go right at times, because it's top-down.
Right.
Not even three-quarters view, like straight top-down car racing game. But it just felt great. You upgraded your car between, laps and stuff like that. And yeah, I just remember it being like RC Pro-Am, and I loved having that on my TurboGrafx. And lastly for our list for this episode is Ninja Spirit, one of the best games for the system. This is essentially Ninja Gaiden.
Okay.
But the graphics really blew me away for the time. I mean, we were not seeing these kind of graphics. And it's beautiful. You're a ninja. You fight other ninjas and monsters, etc. But what's cool is you have all these powers where you can actually make clones of yourself. So there's a lot of action going on the screen. Enemies do the same kind of thing, and a lot of psychedelic stuff happens.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
We're going to play this. It's really, really cool. One of my favorite games for the system, easily. Ninja Spirit.
Did it come out on any other systems?
It did not.
Okay.
Yeah, so again, if you're getting a TurboGrafx for the first time, or you have yours kicking around in the closet somewhere, this is the game to get. Ninja Spirit is awesome.
So one of the more interesting things about the TurboGrafx is that the CD attachment for it was one of the first CD attachments for any console ever, right?
Ever, yeah. And it was really big and bulky.
Yeah.
And it came in a really big box. And it was a really expensive thing. It was like $400.
Which actually is really interesting because today we were out game hunting and you found one in the game store.
It was in the case and everything.
Yeah.
And he wanted $350 for it. So I was like, that's a little high.
Not a great deal.
Yeah.
Not a great deal.
We're going to go back and I'm going to haggle with him.
Yeah. But now, did you own one back in the day?
Yes. I actually worked summer jobs to make enough money to get it. I bought it myself. I got the big box. It came in a big carrying case. And yeah, it really changed the way I thought about games. I mean, it was, again, like you said, one of the first CD-ROMs.
Right.
It played CD music. That was a big thing back in the day.
Yeah.
Kids don't know this, but it was really amazing to have CD quality sound with a game like Ease. The RPG just felt more epic, and it used, better graphics because it had more RAM, essentially, to do more things with it. So
so obviously it's kind of expensive to collect today. Are the CD games more or less expensive or hard to find, or how does that work?
I think they're harder to find. I've been really good. We were talking about this earlier. With the prices aren't terrible. It's just that a lot of people have kept the stuff that they bought, and they don't want to sell it. So it's just harder to find.
Okay.
But I think the prices are pretty reasonable. Yeah.
That's cool. Now there's a couple different models of the TurboGrafx. So I have now this is the original, right? Without
That's the original.
It's missing the back part.
Yeah, it normally came with the back part here. And what happens is at some point they sold a turbo booster. Great name, I guess. TurboGrafx. And you would take this off and put on the turbo booster. It looked the same, but it gave it more RAM and it gave it more memory. That was the first attachment. And then the second one was the CD-ROM, which this would go into, and the CD-ROM would sit on top of it and be in the back part of it. Yeah.
And then, of course, we should probably talk about the fact that really this was called the PC Engine in Japan.
Right. So the biggest thing for me is the PC Engine, or the fact that I want to tell you, is the PC Engine was pretty successful in Japan. And it came around a little bit after Nintendo. So we didn't get the TurboGrafx till really later. And PC Engine was doing well. It had a lot of games. And so when we got it, it was a little too late because the processors are essentially two 8-bit processors. And the Genesis was coming out, and that had a true 16-bit processor. So yeah, but the PC Engine did really well. And there's a lot of different versions of the PC Engine.
I know that originally, for the longest time, it was considered the smallest console ever made. One of those models.
Yeah, it was really small. Yeah.
And then the final, I guess, model or version of it that I would like to get personally is the Turbo Express. Which I've never owned one. Did you own one back then?
No, it was too expensive. It was expensive back then, and now it's hard to find.
Yeah. But correct me if I'm wrong, but it was a handheld, and you could basically play your Hue cards or turbo chips or whatever they're called.
Hue cards, turbo chips.
In it.
Yeah.
Just like a normal TurboGrafx.
Yeah, so these are the games like we were showing throughout the video, and basically the Turbo Express was the first system to literally take the games you were playing at home and put them in a portable.
That is awesome.
You just slid that in the back, and you were playing the game. That was crazy.
I know. Now, how was the screen on that, though? Did it look good?
It was pretty good. Not OLED or anything, but
Sure.
it was bright enough, yeah. And it did, of course, eat batteries like a lot of the Game Gears and stuff.
Especially those early 90s or late 80s, early 90s color screens, they sucked up the battery life.
They sure did, yeah. Cool. But it was cool that it was available and possible.
Yeah, totally. Well, awesome, man. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
We're going to do another one of these, 8 more games. So this will be coming out very soon.
Very soon.
All right. Take care.
Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.
Did I talk over you?
A little bit.
You want to do it again?
No.
No, just keep that part. Yeah.
Hey guys, part 2 of this video series of hidden gems for the TurboGrafx is either coming very soon or, depending on when you watch this, already out. So check the comments below. Thanks for watching.